Coverage of the ARCA Racing Series on Speed is brought to you by Burger King. We remind you to have it your way. And by Ansel, for over 100 years, the world leader in hand protection. And by the new Can-Am Commander side-by-side vehicle. Welcome back to the Rock. It's Justin Marks who has just over a half a second lead now over Patrick Sheltra. You see the two cars. Justin Marks in the 32, Patrick Sheltra in the 60.
Yeah, how about that 44 right behind him, as well as the one of Chad McCumbee. Top four right there together.
Justin Marks losing a little bit on the pace that he had earlier, and now we've got caution coming out once again. This time it is Tony Palumbo in the 70 that gets turned around. You see the tire tracks as he spun sideways.
A good break for Steve Arpin. Now he can come down pit road if Billy chooses to and puts tires on that car. He will have the freshest tires in the field. He stayed on the lead lap. Right now we're showing 24 cars on the lead lap. He should be able to drive by a bunch of them quick.
So this is the third caution that has come out. And as you mentioned, just 24 cars on the lead lap. With 76 laps complete, we're on lap 77. Steve Arpin, if they would choose, can come onto pit road and get a fresh set of tires.
Rick, let's see if we can take a look at what happened to the 70 of Tony Palumbo. Watch right in the middle of your screen there, just on the bottom of the racetrack. There's some little dips down there. So a lot of times that car will start bouncing and you lose control of the back end. That looks like that's what happened to Tony.
So Tony Palumbo gets turned around in turn number 4. That's the third caution of the day for the ARCA Racing Series here at the Rock. We'll let you know if Arpin comes on to pit road when we come back. Welcome back to the final race of the 2010 season. It's the American 200 from Rockingham Speedway here in Rockingham, North Carolina. Steve Arpin did come onto pit road.
There's Timmy Hill, the 47. He will be Aaron's lucky dog. That will put 25 cars on the lead lap right now. And towards the back of that group, the 55 of Steve Arpin with 4 fresh tires.
They did make the turn onto pit road, put those 4 fresh tires on. Again, out of sequence from everyone else on the racetrack. So we'll see if it works out for him. Justin Marks in front of the field. Green flag back again in the air. Patrick Sheltra running second. Frank Kimmel is third. Chad McCumbee fourth.
Kevin Swindell jumps underneath Chad McCumbee to take over that 4th spot on the restart.
Yeah, 3 wide as they went into turn number 1, and McCumbee had to move up the racetrack because here comes Swindell.
There's Ty Dillon right now. He holds down the 6th position.
Right behind him, the 17 of Chris Buescher.
Want to keep our eye on that 55 of Steve Arpin with those fresh tires. He's going to love the way that feels.
We'll see if he's able to move through the field as easily as they were able to go by him on those older tires.
I think Steve had fallen to about the 18th or 19th position when the caution flag came out.
How about the battle for the lead between Justin Marks, Patrick Sheltra, and Frank Kimmel? Those guys are working it up front of the pack. There's the 55 of Steve Arpin trying to go by that 25 of Mikey Kyle.
Mikey's another one. That's his teammate. He's another one of the cars that came down pit road on that caution flag. Heavy traffic right now for both those guys. There's Steve Park, the 53 car, right in front of those two. Steve remains on the lead lap. Right now running in the 19th position.
Mikey Kyle able to stay in front of his teammate, even with those fresher tires. And Phil, if he doesn't make the move early, they'll start to even out to these guys. He's got to get by these guys early on when his tires are still fresh.
Yeah, but his tires in 30 laps, they're still going to be 20 laps newer than everybody else's, and they're going to pay dividends depending on how this race goes. Caution flag wise, they're going to continue to pay dividends the longer we run.
Side by side, the 66 on the inside. That's Jesse Smith. There's the lead. Justin Marks, Patrick Sheltra, and Frank Kimmel. Sheltra and Kimmel separated by just 0.2 of a second. Back behind him, Kevin Swindell, who started on the pole, had a very strong car early on. He runs in the 4th spot.
Justin Marks has a neat promotion going on right now. They've joined forces with the V Foundation, Wintron Racing, Justin Marks, to raise some money for the V Foundation. You can go to their website, wintron.racing.com, or look at the news section of the ARCA website, and you can donate per lap or make a one-time donation of how many laps he completes today. for a great cause for the V Foundation.
Jim Trado.
And the laps that matter on the racetrack for Justin Marks are certainly putting together back-to-back solid laps, lap after lap. When he came down on pit road on lap 51, he talked about a tight condition in the middle, loose on entry. Under that last green flag run, it was great, and then it started rearing its ugly head again. The car is getting tighter in the middle now. The 2 rounds down the right rear track bar is what they did last time down pit road. Mike Chaffee and the crew chief offering encouragement. Good lap times here. They're on their pace. This team on Thursday spent a full run of 65 laps on the racetrack to determine how their car would wear on the long run.
One of the other things that we haven't really talked about is it's the warmest it's been since these cars got here on Wednesday and Thursday. And we see problems with Brandon McReynolds in that 92 slow on the racetrack, actually down on the apron.
Yeah, tough break for Brandon. The Black's tire service, number 92, may have a flat tire. Looks like he was wiggling it, trying to determine which tire may have been flat. That's Ricky Benton's team. We see him in the truck series with Dennis Setzer. Battle for the lead now. Patrick Schuster moves to the inside.
Look to the inside of Justin Marks. Here comes Frank Kimmel in the 44 as well. Both trying to get to the inside of Justin Marks. Sheltra in front at the stripe. Now Marks battling back on the high side.
Been over 2 years since Frank Kimmel's been to victory lane here in the ARCA Racing Series, and he's been there 74 times or something like that.
I talked to Bill Kimmel earlier today, and he said, boy, it would help Frank's confidence so much if he could get back to victory lane. I said, he's won 74 times. How much more confidence does this guy need? He said, well, you know, we haven't won for a while.
Looks like Justin Marks is fighting his car a little bit. We saw him sideways up off of 4 the last 2 laps. Frank Kimmel able to now get to the inside, 3 wide through the corner, and Kevin Swindell in the 6 car lurking right behind.
That is for the 2nd spot. Kimmel has it now, right?
44 car been a little bit loose. They made some adjustments there early on, but you know, it's an interesting thought. When they decided to come to this race, they were like, well, should we bring a super speedway car or a short track car? And the car that they have right now that they're running today, they used to race at Toledo and Salem. So a little bit of a different thought. Some other guys bringing 1.5 mile race cars here. These guys thought the short track car gives them a little bit more clearance so that they can use lighter springs here. Kimmel's very happy though with the way that it's coming up with real good grip off the corners.
And we're seeing Justin Marks dropping back now. To further that story, we had the practice session here on Thursday, and the Kimmels brought 2 different types of cars, and they said, well, we'll find out which one is the best, and we'll run that one.
I like that. I like the philosophy to bring a short track car here because you want all the downforce you have. You build a little bit more downforce in a short track car, and I'm telling you, you need it here. There's Tom Hessert right now in the 77 car. Tom is all the way back to the 14th position.
Kyle Fowler just behind him in the 52. You see James Hilton in the 48. Going a lap down. Tony Palumbo in the 70. Again, he brought out our most recent caution on lap 77.
Jesse Smith, the 66 car, right behind the 52 of Fowler. There's Joey Coulter, the Charlotte Checker Chevy, right in front of Tom Hessert.
We're hearing Brandon McReynolds had a right front going down, and so a very heads-up call by that young driver to make his way onto the apron and down pit road before he blew the right front tire, because boy, you can hit the wall hard here at this racetrack.
Oh, you sure can. There's Ty Dillon, the 41 car. He made his way by the 32 at Justin Marks to take over that 5th spot.
Justin Marks is backing up right now as some of the other guys are able to get by. Patrick Sheltra out in front. Frank Kimmel running 2nd. He's half a second behind. Then it's Swindell, McCumbee, Dillon. And again, Marks drops back to the 6th spot.
Remember last week at Kansas, Ty Dillon just stayed right in the top 5 the entire race. Had a great pit stop on the last caution flag. His guys got him out first. Actually lost the lead on the restart to Steve Arpin, and then passed him back the next lap by and went on to win that first win for him. The 12th first-time winner of 2010 in the ARCA Racing Series.
Had a very strong car at the end of that race. Another guy who's had a strong car but has changed his pit strategy a bit, that 55 of Steve Arpin. Ray, what are they talking about now?
Well, you know, the interesting thing down here, Rick, is for all of these guys to think through their strategy throughout the rest of the day. And I'm running up and down pit road here talking to many different crew chiefs, and their big question is, will we ever put these tires back on the car that we already took off at that first round of pit stops at lap 50? Obviously, Arpin not in that situation, but many of these other guys trying to make that decision right now. So that's the big question. Phil, would you do it to save that set of stickers for later in the race?
Well, Ray, I don't know. They had so many laps on those tires. They had, 52 laps on those tires. I'm not sure that they're going to better themselves. If we could make a long run, and you have 80 or 90 laps on your next set of tires, when the last caution comes out with 15 or 20 laps to go, they may be better than the 75 or 80 lap tires, but I don't think they'll be a great deal better, and you would lose track position if you came to put them on.
Still out front, it's Patrick Sheltra looking to lock up the 2010 ARCA Racing Series Championship. He has almost a second lead over Frank Kimmel. Swindell, McCumbee, and Dillon, your top 5.